Hello there, folks. Welcome back to the lab. We have another interesting um, parts swap video here. This is unadvantage video, of course, as you can see. So here we have a couple of number two CT hams. These are around 1900, 1903, 1905 area. So these are over 120 years old. And yeah, they're hurting. They're hurting. They want to be whole again. Well, one of them is going to end up being whole again. One of them is full of holes. But so, what we're going to do here is we're going to swap out this reflector and the lift mechanism, or at least the globe plate. And that's about it. I mean, this thing is rough, man. This thing is rough and chewed up and coming apart there. And then there's that crazy monstrosity happening down there. Somebody replaced the bottom with a piece of metal. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to get this off of here. And we're going to put it on here. We're going to modify this. We're going to put the proper holes in. I'm hoping I measure all that precisely and put it in the right spot. And we're going to have some other parts. And luckily, this does not have a cap. This does. And they both got burners, which is great. That is a brass cone. Can't tell. Oh, okay, that appears to be brass as well. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, burner comes out and everything. Wow. Great. Okay. So that is going to be our project. I think, boy, I've done some interesting part swaps with reflectors before. And if I can remember, I usually don't. I'll put a link in the description down there. And if I don't, and you want to see it, and I didn't put it in there, send me a message, and I'll put it in there, or at least send you the link. But, yeah, as you can see, this is all a mess. So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get that off of here. This is going to become a carcass. We'll have an extra globe plate for a CT ham. And, yeah, I've been putting this off. I don't know why I've been putting it off. It seems like a fun thing to do, but that's what we're going to do now. So I think what I'm going to start with, I'm going to get that reflector off the back here and get the paint stripping off it. And I'll get the globe plate off, and we'll get the paint off of that. I don't know if I would need the lift lever, or is that the same? Or I mean the... I wonder if I could just swap globe plates. I think I can. I think that would work out. I'll check it out. All right, so let's get to this, man. Okay, here we are. First, let's get this. Get the bail off of here. Come on now. There you go. There you go. All right. So that, ooh, boy. Wow. What happened there? All right. Oh, yeah. As you can see, yeah, chewed up. Let's see. 1 tab. 2 tabs. Oh, wait a minute. That's got all the... Oh, it doesn't. Okay. It's got 2 tabs. Yeah, well. So that'll be no good. Very nice. By the way, I got a polishing wheel now. A small polishing wheel. Make that look real nice. Okay. Boy, yeah, look at that. Look at the weird colors on there. Looks like somebody went at this with some kind of sanding tool, and they're not obsessed with getting rid of tool marks like I am. That's all. That's solid tool marks there. But that's cool because it came out real nice. So that's excellent. CT ham globe and burner. So we'll get this all cleaned up proper, and we'll see which burner and everything we want to use. We'll find the best of the batch. Like that there. That's fine. We'll wash that. Reuse that. Now, I think I can get the reflector off before I get this off, because it does need to be resoldered. It'd be a lot easier to get at it, I think, from the other side once we get this reflector off. So what we're gonna have to do is loosen up this seam of solders here and pull this baby off. That shouldn't take a whole lot. I'm a little worried about getting the solder to stick on the other lantern, but we'll make it work, I think. All right. So I'm going to put my hand behind here, put a little bit of pressure on it, and loosen up these solders here. What I need to do, I'm going to get a little bit of leverage on this. I don't have 3 hands, unfortunately. Okay, now I can do some grabbing here and see if I'm getting this loose at all. Hard to tell if this is even powerful enough to get. There we go. Whew. There's a lot of paint. Somebody had a real funky looking paint job too. They thought they would just paint the lift mechanism there. That's crazy. All right, so now we have it here. Have the straps out. All right, now I can get off this solder that's here. Whoops. There we go. Can't tell if this is soldered on the top here, but I'm going to try to loosen it up a little bit. And I'm trying to pinch this in a way where it doesn't completely mangle it. I want to make it look like a nice sandwich. There we go. Nothing wrong with this. All right, we'll get that off when that cools a little bit. I want to see if there's any little globs. There's a little glob we can get off there before getting the paint off. Okay, paint off, paint off, paint off. That. Now, globs. Globs and globs. Yeah, so I'm going to assume that we don't need this lift lever. It's the same. I'm assuming it's the same. Now we'll get this off. Transfer this over as well. Because we know that this fits this particular globe plate. Come on now. Come on, meow. There we go. Okay, no big deal getting off that solder because we can use the tinning. Well, let's get it off there because I'm gonna want to clean this up anyway. Wow, that's some heavy metal. Whoever did that job. I'm looking for, like, you know, free extra wicks might be hiding in there. All right, so I think we are done with this. I could harvest these parts, but I think I'll keep them on the carcass. Oh, we need it to measure the holes. Yeah. All right, so. Yeah, man, look at that. Bummer. But if I ever want to know what the anatomy's like in there, maybe at some point I'll open that up. Just for the sake of learning how to open that up. Never know what I'd need to know that. Okay. So, while we have all this stuff here, not sure what we're going to need, but yeah, got that. Great. That's another wick. Ooh, this wick's got some crusties. That looks like mud wasp. We might find some pinholes down in there. Let's see. Ooh. Wow. Holy shit. What the hell is that? Where the hell is that coming from? Is that coming out of the fountain? I guess so. What the hell is it? Oh, cap comes off. It's not looking awful, actually. Whatever all that shit was. Man, I don't know. But I may want to because of all this shit that's... Let's look. What are we looking at here? What is this? A couple great ham burners, a couple great graham cones. All right. All right, so let me clean this little messiness up, and then we'll continue. So I'm contemplating something because I have another ham number 2. I'm a little worried about what we got going on here with that tank preliminarily and all this area around here. Let me take a look at this other one I got. Okay, well, yeah, this one's not a whole lot better. Okay. But it's CT ham. Sexy globe in it. With a K. I remember I checked out what that meant, and I don't remember what I found out. Well, okay, we got saute hams. Sorry, man. Chef Birdland here, chefiness. Like, I'm thinking I'm hungry, apparently. I have my dinner marinating, and that's why I'm thinking of food. All right, let's continue with this. Let's make this work. I would just hate to have... Got one more, but it is older. It's a significantly older late 1890s ham. It's in better shape than both of these, but it's not all matching. Well, you know, I want to keep stuff, yeah. Okay. But, boy, the good thing about this one is it's got the intact pull ring. This one, does not, unfortunately. You know, these brass rings, by the way, are hollow, which is incredible. That somebody made those by hand way back 125 years ago. But what I do have, I don't know if that's going to work or not. Yeah, okay. Same diameter, I think. This, some copper wire. I think I will manufacture a new loop on this copper. This is brass, I believe. This is brass, but we'll make it work. This was an improvised bail out of something I had. Oh, it was a Coleman lantern. Had this for a bail in it. And then some nice single core wire center there. But I think we'll use that. Make a pull ring for it. All right. Let's get back at it. Oh, wow. This thing, wow, this is super thin, whatever this stuff's made of. All right, that can go in the parts box. We don't need that. I wonder why this is so much thinner. I'm going to take a look. I'm curious. Ooh, a little warm. I mean, unless it's a softer metal, like a copper or brass or something. Yeah, it's metal. Well, we'll save that, of course. Okay. So, we will affix, just real quick, make sure lift lever is the same. It's looking a little chewed up, though. Yeah, some pretty heavy rust on there. Okay, well, I figured maybe while I have this out, maybe I will get this off in case I want to do a swap. Because, yeah, that looks real heavy there. I'm just thinking about cleaning it up, that's all. All right, that's in much better shape than this one. Because there's literally metal gone from it here. So, yeah, maybe I'll swap that out now that I got the best way to do it without harming things. Nothing's harmed here or there. That I can almost just cut it off and put this on it. Okay, I think the bench grinder will get the paint off that, so we don't need paint removal. All right, good. I think, boy. Wow. That's really rough, man. You know what, I might, Really rough. Ugh. I think I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? Is I'm gonna go get the paint removal started on this stuff and make my dinner, and then, well, at least get to the grill warming up. Then I think I'm gonna take this over to the bench grinder, do little test areas here on the heaviest part, see what's under there, see how rough things are gonna be. This could be a lot of work, and I would just hate to, have it end up not being all that super. Well, at least we do have another one. Boy, I have another one for parts, but It's missing the skirt. Skirt was all rusted out. Skirt's no good on the donor. No, no, it's wrecked. Okay. Okay, so let's do that, and I'll be back. All right, well, we did some test areas. Okay, it is not awful. And what's great is look how clean the bottom came out. Look at that. I mean, I see one pinhole, but I expected there would be all kinds of shit everywhere, especially from all that junk that came out of it. Maybe that stuff came out of an air tube. Maybe there's nests up in there. Probably what that is. Yeah, you know what? That is. That is a nut. That's, yeah, that's mud wasp. Okay. I don't know why I thought it was nuts, but when you think about those kind of nut looking, you know, the inside of like a walnut looks just like those mud wasp nests. Okay. So yeah, here. All right. They're not bad. And the cap, not bad. I mean, it's going to be highly textured, you know, but I think it'll look real nice when it's all cleaned up. I think we'll be okay here. I just want to make sure this was a good subject, you know, for such a modification. It's going to be a good amount of work. Ooh, let me, what's going on there? All right, hold on a minute. I'll be right back. Oof. Boy, that's pretty heavy. Pretty heavy, but that is the back. That's going to be underneath the reflector. But yeah, as you can see, whoo, that's some pretty heavy rusting there. We'll make it work. Let's make it work. Well, hopefully be able to get solder to stick to that. We'll find a way. All right. Now, got to go get my dinner on the grill. I'll be back. All right. So I've had my dinner and everything. I am working on this over on the bench grinder. And I thought before I start dealing with these air tubes, I'm going to get this off of here. I think it's time for this to go bye-bye. And put the other one on. I don't think this one's going to be all that hard to bend because it's really kind of beat up. I was thinking of cutting it, but I'm not going to do that. You just know if I cut it, that means that tomorrow I would need one of these. That's what would happen. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna cut this. What the heck? And then tomorrow I'll get a lantern that needs one. Come on now. Yeah, that's what I want. Give me a little bit more room to straighten this out. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Ouch. Yeah, it's pretty chewed up. That wouldn't have cleaned up very nice. The other one I have in there with paint strip around, it's going to clean up great. And so is the bail from that one. The bail from this is pretty messed up. Okay, back to the bench grinder. Be right back. All right, so we are looking pretty good here. Obviously, there are areas that I can't get to. But no real problems anywhere so far. Now, while I was manipulating this around, a lot of stuff was continuing to fall out. I'm pretty sure it was more, you know, from mud wasp and stuff. But I'm going to bring my chain. I'm going to go in and check how the paint removal is doing on the parts of the donor. And what I'm going to do here is some hot soapy water in this chain in the fount because all this weird shit that was coming out. Most likely I'm going to need to seal this by the time we're done here. I'm sure there's a pinhole or two, and I'm sure this thing would weep somewhere no matter how nice it looks. But judging by what I'm seeing here, there's probably going to be some pinholes. So I want to clean it up because there's all kinds of crap flying around in there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the other parts in here. I'm going to check them out and probably take them over to the bench grinder and everything. But all right, we'll see. I'll be right back. Okay, so we got that back, and it's drying now. Yeah, so we rattled a chain around there. I just kept doing it and doing it until the water was coming out clear. All right, now reflector without all the awful black paint on the back and the awful dreaded silver paint on the inside. That is gone, and we're going to make this look real nice. No major problems with it. Just got to be bent and manipulated correctly. This looks real nice, and this looks real nice. That's great. I'm so glad that there are some good parts on the donor. All right, I'm going to go to bench grind to clean them up, and we'll be back in just a sec. Okay, so, yeah, well, things are interesting. Well, we got Pinhole City here. We got Pinhole City. That's all right. It matches our new host pretty well. That's okay, because you know what? This is learning by doing. This is how you learn by doing. I'm taking some junkers and I'm making something cool. Why not? Oh, I noticed something, by the way. Something that you don't see when these are intact. We got...
If you do that, you'll never look back.
Yeah, we got pat numbers. Pretty neat, man. All right, so this is, you can see the spots that my wheel can't get there, but it got, I tell you, and this turned out real nice, real nice. This, I mean, ridiculous, a million times better than this other one. You can see where, I mean, it was getting so rusty that it's lighter. It actually weighs less. So this was donated with this and this and this. So our host, our new host, pretty darn rusty. Yeah, but these parts can still be viable, right? You know, I mean, hey, especially the burner and the cone. All right, so now let's see. Now I got a wire wheel on there. Will that get okay? I tell you, you know, it felt so fun to actually clean a globe guard base completely with a bench grinder. I never can because there is you know, globe guards all the way around. Huh. All right, so let me use this, get around this edge, and maybe I'll use up what meat is left on it just to start working around on this. And then we'll get the junk bit out and start working on the beast. All right. Okay, so something I gotta fix because it's driving me nuts looking at it. And it's just to straighten out this little piece here. And I know I got my toothless pliers here, which have been my favorite tool for doing lanterns. I love this thing. It does so many different things for me. It's awesome. Like I said, it's snub nose, flat tip, no teeth pliers. I have found a number of other ones that are sort of like it, but it just nothing fits this good. I have a number of other ones that are a lot. Like I grabbed these. They're not bad. They're a little bit smaller. You know, if I need something a little bit narrower, but I don't like the feel of these at all. I mean, it could be, you know, dollar store type of, you know, Walmart-y version. I don't know. But I'm sticking with what works, man. This is seriously my favorite tool for lanterns out of all these. All right, so we got that part. Let's see. Yeah. Well, this is going to be interesting. The interesting part is going to be prepping the the new host edge here to make sure that it receives solder, because that's a problem. But I did learn something on my last lantern. This might help me out with that. All right, let me put a junk bit on here real quick, and there's little spots that I cannot get to with anything but a pointy bit. So this is a junk bit that we just worked with. And workhorse, man. Junk bits are little workhorses. I'm giving it a little bit of length in case I need to get into spots. Okay, let's do a little something with a pointy bit. Okay, so a little bit of work on this with the junk bit. I'm going to call it a night for today anyway. I was going to do it a while ago, but I'm having too much fun. So, going to go in here with the junk bit. By the way, I left a tiny some water in the bottom of this. And while it was sitting here drying, I was looking for weeping spots. And the only spot is it's got one little pinhole. One little weep right there. This is great. I mean, of course, no matter what, I'm going to treat the inside of the tank, but the fact that we're having that with what this started as was great. Awesome. All right, so junk bit to the number 2. And this is the host. The host. Oh, I was wondering why my lighting has been all funky. I stole a light for over at the bench grinder. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. All right, let's get it. Okay, that is it for tonight. We made some serious progress, man. Great. And I got myself fed. So, great. All right. So, by the way, I'm trying to figure out if I make a new pull ring for this. Then I'm going to try soldering the end of the loop so it's a solid. Man, oh man, it's amazing. How did they make those? So tiny, tiny hollow brass. Pretty neat. Okay. All right, we are back. And I think I'll continue with the pointy bit action. I didn't get anywhere up in here. I was just too beat last night. But, ooh, and so is that. All right, so here we have pointy bit. I want to get up here in the vents and yeah, that's about the last big important spot here. And then I can start picking at all these other seams here with ones that are chewed up. Okay, so let's do it. We're going to get these little vent, yeah, you know. Okay. And so I think I want to address this issue here. Oh boy, yeah, okay. So I see it's getting a little bit loose there, and I'm afraid if I remove this now, that's just going to fall in, and I'm screwed. I have to take the cap off, which I do not want to do. In the state this thing is in, I do not want to do that. So I think I'm going to try to figure out from one of these other lanterns. First, I want to make sure. I want to make sure that this will fit in that hole. If I use this wire, boy, it's going to be tight. Tight. Be really tight. I don't even know. All right, what I'm going to have to do is hold on to that while I take the other one out. Okay, so if this little forceps comes off there, I'm screwed because that's going to fall inside. Well, I guess I can go up through there, right? Yeah. All right. Now, I want to make sure it's not going to fit. All right. So, be safe. I put this back in for now. Let's see if I can find a hunk of wire that will be suitable. Let me do that while we got super glue curing over here. All right. So here's a piece of wire that is a lesser gauge. Let's see what we got going on here. I mean, that'll do the trick. I mean, it's not going to be exact. Okay, we got a little bit of a loop here, copper wire. All right, so we have a little loop here. I wonder how I can do soldering these little ends together here. Make a loop that'll stay together. All right, so we got this little bit here. I wonder if I could just acetone that, throw a little flux on there, and boom, because copper tends to do pretty good. All right, I'm gonna kind of little blob liquid flux out there. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna need solder, man. I'm getting low on solder, probably from all my fuck ups. All right, I think I got it, and I thought I was recording. Yeah, maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. I don't know, but that is resolved. Great. So we have ourselves a new copper loop. This is interesting stuff, by the way. This is brass, hollow brass. Amazing how they did that 130 years ago. All right, we are back at the pointy bit here. We'll work on some of these little mechanisms here. Got to get around in that. All right, let's do that. All right, so I think I'm going to go with the 320 bit. Give this a once over. And if I see any spots that are going to need the 800 grit, really hard to say with this thing, but I imagine I'm going to fry a couple of these on here. But it's a crucial element here. And the more by the way, more stuff falling out of air tubes here. It's pretty crazy. Whatever kind of nesting was going on. All right, so here we go. 320 bit. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to steel wool this, and I'm going to seal the tank. So tomorrow we will have it all sealed and ready to go for attaching our appendage, our transplanted appendage. I think that's probably the best bet. That way I can, be able to manipulate this lantern around and, get the seal all exactly where I wish it to be. That'd be really difficult to do with a big old reflector stuck on here. The state of this metal doesn't necessarily really, it's not really going to notice much of a steel wooling job, but luckily this is the heaviest issue here. It's going to be hidden, kind of hidden. This isn't one of those, you know, boxy reflectors. Now, let's kind of see here what we're dealing with. All right. So I'm going to make sure that I measure well with our donor. Let's see here. All right, let's see what we can figure out. All right, I think what I'm going to do first is get rid of that solder there so I can see exactly where the hole is. I mean, I know it doesn't need to be on an angle, but I'm seeing that the solder is on an angle. But I want to make sure I got the hole right, hole size and everything. So I'm going to get rid of this. Okay. Now we know. Now we know. All right. So we are at two identical jobbers here. Best way to measure? I don't know. I got my silver pen here. I'm going to measure on the top of that. All right, I need to be able to, I got to move you folks because I need to be right on top of that so I can get proper measurement. Hold on. Not exactly sure you can even see what I'm doing. I am drawing on my ruler. Why not? Okay. Dot on my ruler. And then a dot there. I'll figure about the how far in there in a minute. All right, so I have the height measured with those little silver dots. Now I want to see just how far in we want to go from that dot. That looks like we got it. As good as it's gonna get. That's what I'm saying. Okay, let's drill some holes. Okay, so I got here nail. I'm just gonna put a little divot in here for our drill bit. Oh, that didn't feel good. I don't even know if that's gonna work, but I don't care. I'm gonna do it. Hole one. All right, well, because of my left-handedness, I gotta find another way here to do this. We got holes. No turning back now. I mean, we got some bending and manipulating to do, but look at that. We're on. Cool. So I'm not exactly sure on the orientation of these two things, whether they go straight up and down or what the deal is. I have a feeling this is where they're supposed to be. This stuff was all bent up, but this was not. Of course, this we're gonna bend, and I've been waiting till the last minute to bend this. You only get so many bends in a piece of rusty metal, and you can see because of our pinholes there. I'm not gonna go bending that until we need to. So, all right, good. So I think what we'll do now is seal this tank, and I'll call it a night, and then we'll come tomorrow and we'll attack this deal here. All right, hold on. Let me clean this area up here a little bit. It is a bit of a mess. All right. We got our seal all. All right, there we go. I'm going to do about half this tube. Okay. Now, got that. Ooh, boy, very strong smell there. All right, so now I'm going to manipulate this around so it covers the entire bottom, and try to go up around the edges here to make sure that this seam here is well taken care of. And it is a clear gel, and you can watch there's like a bubble or two that is in it, you know, from squeezing it out. And I watch those bubbles. So I can tell that it's moving. Okay, so let me do that for a while, and we'll come back in a minute. All right, so what I'm gonna do here, while I'm killing time, yeah, boy, I can't help it. So I just plopped this on there just to look at it. So it's gonna be a bit of a little gap there, but what I want to do is with this silver marker, put a line underneath where I'm going to need to score the lantern in order for the solder to stick. All right, let's see what happened there. It doesn't need to be exact. I just want to make sure I know where I can't go. Okay, so that's kind of a little off kilter there, but it gives me an idea of how far down I'm going to be allowed to go with very heavy sanding in order to clean that up enough to accept solder. Cool. Okay. So we have the tank is sealed. We got that line drawn on there, so it'll give me something to think about tonight when I'm dreaming about continuing this interesting project. We got our holes drilled, and it seemed everything fit. And we got our stuff. Oh yeah, I gotta make sure that I put this back before we, yeah, because that would be a pain in the ass. Well, I could probably do that now, couldn't I? Because I can't help myself. Very nice. It's in such better shape than the one I took off. Wow. All right. So now I got to bend that back at least enough where it's not gonna. Okay, good. It could probably go a little bit more. We got a little time there. Perfect. All right. Things are coming together here. Nice. Coming together, coming together. All right, so probably what I'll do is I'll take something like this, get this kind of approach here, go around there and put a big old nasty gouge in it there to accept some solder. That's what we got to do to get that to stick. And we don't need to cover all this with solder. We really don't. Enough to get it to hold down there. Because this is not going to be a workhorse. This is not going to be climbing on a railroad or anything. Okay. So, and that'll go on there. And we got our... I don't know, man. I'm liking having this big old one around. It's been a really long time since I've used any of these. I think maybe I've just become more skilled at its uses and things. But yeah, it's been kind of neat to have around to get in some tight areas. Because when they get fried like that, you don't have this span from the center rail to the out over here. You can see. Yeah, so this gets in some spots. All right, so we got that. We're not going to put that on there right now. All right, so seal all is happening. I can see it in there. Yeah, we're all nicely coated. All right, so I think what I'm going to do now is score this metal. This is going to be a little destructive, but I do believe there's something that I need to do here for me to make solder stick. Me and solder do not go together all that great. And by the way, so I'm still smelling it, but the seal all is all dried up in the tank here. So I'm going to use this very abrasive sanding disc. This is for wood, not for metal. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to score this line above this line here. Okay. And then I'm going to score a little bit around these holes, as little as I can. I may try a different bit for that, because I'm not painting over anything here. So, all right. So I really don't think we need to have solder all from end to end. I really don't. But we'll see. We'll see what we need to do to make it stay right. All right. So let's be destructive. Okay. Let me make sure I got uppy closey glasses and all that, because this is kind of crucial. All right, let's get it. Okay, hey, metal looks nice underneath all that oxidation. Okay, and so a little acetone will take that pen right off. Now, let me look at the donor heart here. And it's already tinned, so I really don't have to worry about really cleaning that off, and it is already tinned, and that should help us a lot. Oh, by the way, I went to, I put it on the polishing wheel a little bit here, just for fun. Reflector, it brought out a little bit of shine here on certain areas. I couldn't get to the whole thing, just kind of around in here, because of the way it's oriented on my grinder there. Oh, there's a little bit of red on there. I think it is, yeah, okay, it's the polish. That one's flying off. I'll get that with the steel wool before we do this. And we're going to be doing this real soon here, I think. So maybe I will start doing that. So we already steel wooled the body here. Oh yeah, let's put a little score. Let me see what this will do. I think I might be able to get just a little bit around that hole. No big deal. All right, let's do that while we're here. Right. All right. And we don't need solder anywhere else as far as I can tell. Everything seems to be secure. Okay. So we're getting close to this. So now I'm thinking we put the globe plate back on. All right. Oh, I cleaned up the wicks that I had found in the donor and the recipient. Very nice. We'll put one of them back in. Played with that out of polisher. Jeez. It's going to look out of place on here. But if I feel like it, I have the one from the donor. Now, look at those weird marks all over it. Huh. Like somebody scratched at it with something real heavy. That's weird. Underneath all that. Okay, so yeah, if I want to go to a dirty one, I can just go grab the donor one that's in with the other parts. And here's the burner. That's not the one. Did a little bit of work on the cap too. Sorry about that, folks, but I was bored and didn't tape it. This thing was corroded as hell. Supervisor Baby is making noises, which is weird. All right, so we got this puppy. It's all cleaned out, and it's tinned. So, where are we? There it is. Now we got to get this around here and pinch it. Perfect. That ain't going anywhere. That ain't going nowhere. No need for solder on that. Beautiful. As advertised. Okay. That, we don't need that. That. Tell you, man, a lot of the tools are coming out for this darn thing. Okay, so let's break up. Yeah, I'm seeing the red here. So that's like, so we got this polishing block. And it's hard as a rock, but when you put it against your polishing wheel and give it friction, the friction melts it, and that is your polish. So, and I see here that that polish, when it rehardens, it's hard, so. So now we can put it on there and make sure we bend it the way we want it bent, or in the holes. There's going to be quite the gap there, but I'm trying to figure a way I can secure this. Maybe a bunch of rubber bands. I've done that before. That's probably going to work for me. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Let me see what we got for bands. Rubber bands. I'll just keep putting them on there and make it tighter. Yep. A couple across the top for our soldering. Now we know what we're dealing with here. It's on there and it is secure. Oh, that's an interesting thing. Okay, so yeah, there's a gap. I wonder if that solder's just gonna come flying through that gap. Okay. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't acetone things. Now we can put it on there and prepare to do some. Hold on a minute. There. So the acetone had put cloudy shittiness all over this, and because that's going to be behind the shroud, I'd like to get it off now where it's easy to get at. There, that's better. This way it just dries differently without these like brush strokes that immediately disappear. Oh yeah, boy, I can see little oxidation just from me washing the tank out yesterday. So we got to get this baby treated because all this exposed metal is screaming, hello. Now, let's assemble real quick. Yeah, so even if I can't get these upper posts soldered, it's not going anywhere. Because it's held in there by the solder. All right. I mean, the solder from down here will keep those in place. That's what I mean. Okay. There's our strong ones. We want those on the bottom. Actually, boy, I'm got to think about where I place these because I'm going to need to get in behind here. Hindsight, you know, putting that glow plate on there, but I could get it out of the way this way. Maybe that's good. Yeah, that's good. All right. There we have it. So now, gotta figure a way to hold it down here. Yeah. There, that's the spot we want. Close enough. Close enough for me, man. Yep. Okay. There is quite a gap there, boy. But I can't press it out. Not that I can see. Unless, wait a minute. This was something that I had thought about earlier before I tried the rubber bands. I wonder if I can get this in there without harming this thing. Ooh. Okay, that works. Good, but I just need to find a better way here. I don't know if I can find a better way. I'm a little worried about melting this thing. Let's see.
Copy 102. Personal package service.
Darn it. Okay, so I gotta figure. I gotta hold this up with something. I'll find something. Let me see. What do we need? What kind of height we need? There we go. Croyle to the rescue. All right, let's see if I can squeeze that gap out there a little bit. There we go. Ooh, this is gonna work good. This is gonna help. Nice. Okay, so if I can get back in there.
Whoever it was came up, walked around the transmitter site, says, "You need a new ground system."
A little more gap. Let me see.
I said, "Okay, thanks for coming up." But I didn't believe him.
Boom.
So then they had Ron Rackley come up.
Now, yeah, I am worried about burning that. So I'm going to try to avoid that spot there a little bit. There we go. Now, what's next? Yeah. We're going to throw some flux in here.
These are the 1940-something radials. And the ones above that, these are the 19, whatever they were, and here's the last ones. These radios look fine. So what I want you
All
to
right,
do
so we got
is
ham guys in the background here, folks.
directional proof. All the monitor points.
All right, let's see. We're going to
Written in a book in a log somewhere. And a lot of the places
get some flux right down in there.
like a hamburger on an oak tree at so-and-so. The hamburger was like a white spray paint or whatever on the tree. So I did that. I spent a week doing a day proof, a week doing directional. And I gave him all the
Shit. Damn it.
in the near field.
I keep touching it, and I keep fucking it up. All right.
Coming off of that transmitter.
Try this again. Maybe while I have it widened out, I'll throw some more flux.
Looked like series resistors where it dropped off progressively more.
That should freaking do it. Jesus. Now, let's see. What can I put there? Protect those. I know I got something. I got some washers. Yeah, okay, good. So, just to protect this a little bit, this plastic here. Can I even get that? Can I even do that? Ugh. It's very awkward, folks. Awkward.
Cost me 25 grand to have Ron retune the phaser to let the day pass out. And they never did it. W1UUU.
All right. Oh. Okay. This is going to be an interesting game here. Yeah. Oops, spilled my flux. Well, when in doubt, I don't care if it melts electrical tape or heats up washers. I just don't want it to ruin this tool that I've barely used. Boom! All right. Let's get back at it here. Boy, oh boy. I'm wasting a lot of video. Just, I mean, fucking around. Okay. Okay, you know what I need to do? I guess I gotta bend these a little bit because they're just not wanting to. All right. Okay, good. That's a little more consistent right there. Let's try this again. And we'll get this baby going. Maybe today. That's gonna have to do it. Yeah, we're gonna be all right. That's gonna be all right. Let's see what happens. I wonder if I lay this down in that hole and then heat it with the torch and let it drop right in there. What do you think about? Oh, I like that idea. Let me see. I kind of want it to be a little bit thicker than this, but that's the beginning. That's the first try. Wouldn't that be amazing if this worked? Yeah, there it is. And it's laying down in there. I gotta position you guys so you can see. But at least I don't want you to be directly in my way as I do this either. Let me see. Okay, so you can see I laid this thin solder down in that crack. So what I'm thinking of doing is heating up the crack and the solder, letting it drop in there, and see if that does a job. Yeah, let's test it on a little spot here. Okay, let's do this. man. Oh, this is ominous.
You know, it's a great story, Ted. I had no idea you'd done all that work. And, corporate, you know, right around that time frame. And that was a little bit after I was at RKO.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Hard to tell.
Get ready. DAB, audio broadcast.
But I'm gonna want to try it with a bigger hunk. Here, let's try a couple chunks
Would have their
of the bigger stuff here.
the four chunks. They would get two. Let me think of when. They'd get two stations on the digital. One station turns into two. There was gonna be 4 pieces. The third, I can't remember where the third comes from. But the fourth would go like public interest.
Let's try this big old hunk.
And I said, you know, suddenly have 26 stations. Why would we want to make them even more? So that was it right there. I'm standing by it. So 12 a.m. because at the time, it didn't
Yeah, it's not coming out the bottom, but it is collecting in these little nobules. Really hard to tell whether
with this.
we've had any bonding in here.
And then when they did HD radio, it was already over. And then satellite had come in and whittled it away to nothing. It was over. But
And try another chunk
one of the problems that was going on is
in here.
the owners thought that they were selling the signal, not the program.
It's a little warm on my hand there.
Was
Let's try that chunk. Okay. Wonder if I should be heating this from the bottom and letting it just kind of fall in. Oh, geez, that had come off. I didn't even know it. Okay. Yeah, melted, melted through that. All right. Yeah, certainly isn't pretty, but there's something happening. Something happening here. Let me try it again because I got so much of this other crap. Might as well just plop some in there. See what happens. I wonder if we'll have a better bond if I heat from the bottom. I'm going to try that. Sorry, folks, if you're out of view, but yeah, hold on a minute here. Yeah, it certainly is. Not pretty, but I think we are bonded there, folks. We got those little nobules. I wonder if I can just kind of move them around a little bit. Nice. Oh, sorry, folks. But we have, ow. Ooh, that's hot. Now, what is next here? Do I need more rubber bands to bring that in? Or do I just leave it? Can bring that in a little bit. Maybe I can just bend it a little bit. Hold on a minute. Let me get rid of some shit. Hold on. All right. So, next we will try. Any flux left there? Nope. A little flux in there and the hole. Heat up the flux a little bit. All right, we're going to try this a little different today. We're going to use soldering iron. Localize the heat here. Let's see what that does for us. So we're fluxed. Oops. Okay, got one down. Let's switch it up. Right. Where are we? Where's my brush? Warm it up a little. Let it heat up nice. Beautiful. Boom. I think we're done with this installation here. Click. All right, let's let it cool off. Then we'll wipe off the excess flux. Okay. Make sure you keep the tip healthy, free of debris. I just put a new tip on here. The other one was getting fried. Okay. Okay, so I think now let's clean up a little bit here. There's flux all over, and we want to clean up some fluxiness. Yeah, well, I'm gonna look kind of down in there and see. Okay, yeah, some of it bonded real nice. Some of it beat it up like that. But that looks a little freaky. I think I can fix that a little bit. Okay. Look what we have done here, folks. Let me get all this crap off of here, and we'll figure out our next step. We got a ham dash from out of the ashes. Pardon me. Okay, now let's clean up the mess here. I think it's time to refresh my acetone here. But let me use this up because this is dirty. That's flux right there, no doubt. You really want to get the flux off because its job is to etch the metal. It's going to corrode the metal, so you want to get that shit off there. All right, let's oil this thing up. Okay, so this will be, yeah, man, I can't wait to see how this looks when it's oiled up. I think it's going to look real nice, considering the shape that it's in. And my brilliant solder job back there. Yeah, well, one of these days, I will, one of these days I will have mastered it. And I felt some grime back in there, by the way. Acetone, I'm going to get in there, get this little bit of flux back here. A little sticky. Okay. All right, here we go. We are going to oil her up and see what we're dealing with here. This is, I think we're on day 4, day 3, day 4. I don't know, somewhere in there. And we have sealed the tank. And we have made a new pull ring out of copper wire. Very nice. And it's all connected there. All right. Let's see how things look here. Looking very dark. Oh, yeah, look at that. Learning by doing, folks. That's the motto of my channel here. I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to swap these parts, but I'm nervous. I'm like, you know what? Don't be nervous. Try it. There are tens of people that maybe want to know how to try to do something like this. Or what not to do by doing it. Yeah. Wow, look at the color of that. That's great. Great. right. Look what we got here, folks. We have got us a ham dash. Let's put her together. More. That is more than enough wick.
Get you back straightened out.
Okay, let's see. Do we got enough length? Oh yeah. You know what we're gonna do, folks? We are gonna try to fire this up tonight. Yes, we are. Because we got it all sealed up and all that crap. Yeah, look at this. Put the cap on there, take a look at it. Alright, what do I do with the globe? Oh, jeez. I never washed it. Alright, hold on a minute. Alright. So, this is the one that came in it. Okay, we are properly locked. No. Well, hold on, I'm going to try the other dome. Actually, we just need to make sure why. Well, something happened in our transfer here. Let me try the other dome here. Hold on a minute. Alright, so maybe my little bend here is a little drastic. I wonder. No, it's actually the opposite. So that needs to be pulled way over. Well, let's see what if I can edge that a little bit. I don't think so, but let me see if I can put a little more bend in that. Hold on a minute. Oh, that's much better now. Okay, let me bend it just a tiny bit. I want to do it a little bit more. Click. Okay, much better. All right, great. We don't need that. We'll leave this one in. Now. Oh yeah, we got a bail to put on yet. Put a little oil. Just gonna put a little oil on my fingers. Rub it on there. We'll rub it off. I just washed my hands. Now I'm covered in oil again, and it's okay. Fail test. Beautiful. Now, use my thumb ring. Put that in. Nice. Look at that. All right. Okay, so let's put some fluid in there. Let's throw some fuel in there and try this baby out. I want to check for weeping. I'm hoping that I got all the holes all filled in. We're not going to put a whole lot in here, just enough to coat the bottom and coat the wick. No need to fill this up like crazy. Unless this turns out to be a real fun burner. In fact, I have a little fire pit outside with some wood in it. that I want to burn, maybe I'll take this outside with you and play with it as I burn stuff. Okay. Now, let's come on down here and take a look at this while the wick does its wicking. Here we go with a ham dash. Yeah, pretty sad. Pretty sad state of affairs with my soldering, but it is holding solid. It is solid. We are bonded. There's a number of layers of it down in there, and just this top part is balled up. I gotta learn why it does that. All right, here we are. Boy, love it. We are complete, and we are ready to burn. So next is to wait for the wick to do its wicking, and we'll light her up, and I'll go outside and burn some stuff. Yeah, sounds good. We have achieved a pinkish hue.
Is there a pinkish hue?
On the wick. So now we are going to light her up. Let's do it, folks. Let's turn out some lights. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that flame. All right, so we got Supervisor Baby, and we got the big ham. Big ham going here. I certainly don't know if that reflector is adding any extra reflectability, but it's fun. Yeah, I'm sure with tin on there, that looked pretty amazing. All right, great. Let's come take a look here. Here we have it. Very nice. I think I've been breathing in some seal-all fumes or something. Hey, all right. Look at this. We're done. We're done with this. This is beauty. And let's take her outside and use it as I start the fire. Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.